Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Barry Norman, the Educational Director for OptionRally. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope you're all having a very good day. Tonight's class is called Mastering the OptionRally Platform. We're going to spend most of the class moving through our OptionRally trading floor, and I'm going to show you how to use all the features we offer to our traders, everything from our advanced charts to finding our economics counter, even finding where our webinar schedule is, to finding where your portfolio is, and helping you understand the analysis of your portfolio, and also all the different trading styles. So this class serves both those people who haven't begun trading with OptionRally, and it will help you understand how to trade once you get started. And for those that are already trading, we're going to go through and show you exactly what you need to know and where to find it so that you can start trading more successfully and increase your profits. So if you hold on 1 second, I'm going to bring up the OptionRally trading floor on your screen, and we will take a look at that together. I'm just going to wait for it to pop up there for you. There we go. Now what we are looking at is the live OptionRally trading floor. Now we access this floor, or we go directly to the trading floor once you have an open account and you log into the site. And this is the automatic default on where you will go. And what you're looking at is the standard binary options up-down trade. Now across the top here, you will see the 5 different trade styles that you have available at OptionRally. We have binary options trading, which is a simple, basic up-down method. Now that is the workhorse of all binary options trading. All the other types and styles are based on the up-down method. Now the difference between binary options trading and long-term trading is all the trades under the binary options title are trades today. Anything that you want to have it closed tomorrow, the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of next month, all the way to the end of the year are under long-term trades. So the difference is the same trade, the same style, the same windows, except in binary options you have the expiries for the rest of the day. So I will show you that. So you can see here your expiries for, we're looking at the euro US dollar right now. The expiries for the rest of the day are 1900, 1910, 1920, 1930, all the way down to 2030 and then to 2330. Later tonight we have very few trade expirations because U.S. markets are closed today. It's a President's Day in the U.S., so all the markets in the U.S. are closed today. So it's going to be very light trading this evening. Okay. After that, you have long-term trades. So if we bring up the long-term euro US dollar, we see it's the same thing. We see the same layout, but now we see the default expiration, which is the closest expiration, is February the 19th at 5:10 in the evening. That is the end of the week trade. Then we have the trade that ends on the 21st. I'm sorry, the end of the 19th is 2 days from now, I believe. Today is the 17th. Yeah, so that's 2 days from now. And then we have, after that, we have 2 days from now, then we have the end of the week, the end of next week. Then we go the end of the month. Then we have the end of March, the end of June. We have the end of September and the end of the year, the end of the quarters. And as we get closer and closer, more and more expiries come up in the long-term trade. We just can't list that many expiries throughout the year. Okay, so the only difference between these two is the expiration time. So if you want a trade that's going to expire today, you use binary options. If you want a trade that's going to expire beyond tomorrow, you use long-term. Now, as we know, the standard workhorse is based on picking the asset you wish, which you can find in the navigation or in the drop-down window right here. And that's where you will find all the assets that are available to be traded now and today. Okay, and that are open, because remember, when you're trading binary options, you are trading in the live global markets. That means that you can only trade the assets that are open. So what's happening is, like, all the stocks in the U.S. are closed today because the U.S. markets are closed and Canadian markets are closed today. That means there is no trading in the stock market in the U.S., so those assets won't be open this evening. Okay. When the DAX is open in Germany, you can trade German corporations. Okay. You can trade currencies virtually 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Same thing with commodities. Stocks and indices are traded when those exchanges are open. So there is usually no trading on Saturday and very limited trading on Sunday, because Sunday during the day, a couple of Mideastern markets are open. So during the day, there's some odd and end exchanges and stocks that you can trade. And then late Sunday night, depending on where you're located, the Asian markets start to open, so it starts to pop up with more assets. So right now, if we go to our Asset Select button, we can see that these are the currencies, and it scrolls down right to, actually, there's no commodities today either, because the commodities market, the CBOT are all local, and the NYMEX and the COMEX are all in the U.S., and the London exchanges are already closed. So these are all the currencies, because currencies are traded by computer connections, so they're all open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. So that's all that you can trade at the moment. Now, depending on your what type of trader you are, like for me, I basically only trade currencies, commodities. I don't trade indices and stocks at all. If you wish to only see the currencies or only see the commodities, you can click on the buttons up here and filter out from this list and only see the assets you're really concerned with. So it makes it easier for you. So if you want to see all the currencies that are open now, you simply click on the currency button and okay, oh, because I clicked on commodities. I'm sorry, there's no commodities open. So we click on the currency button and we can see all the currencies that are currently open. There are no commodity stocks and indices, so we get that warning. So that's how you can filter down what you see on your window. Now, the standard trading floor that opens is this floor that offers 4 assets. And you can set these assets up in any which way that you are comfortable with. You can leave the euro up here, and you can have the JPY down here, or if commodities were open, you could have one of your commodities here. Or say, for instance, you want to watch the euro trading at 1920, but you also want to watch the euro for possibly later today, because you're going to want to enter several trades on the euro. So you can set the euro up here for the next expiry, and you can scroll down here and set the euro up again for an expiry after that. And you can watch them all on this trading floor. But this is my least favorite trading floor. But you can pick up the floor that fits your style and what you're doing. Okay, you can change your trading floor and personalize it by using the view buttons that are located here. These view buttons change the layout of the trading floor. Okay, so the one we're looking at currently is the standard default. It's these 3 lines. My preference, maybe because it's old, I'm old, because I like the last button. This brings you up one larger screen with one larger window for one asset. So you can simply change the view button. Same process, euro, US dollar, 1920, $12. Everything's exactly the same as what you're viewing. Okay. You can then, if you are, and in other classes I would teach you trading methods to use, or trading strategies to use these floors, but a lot of people like this floor. And away. Now this floor has a lot of advantages. Okay, you can open up and see a chart for that particular asset. Okay, and it's a very, very nice chart in this floor. But if you were watching multiple assets and wanted to watch them because you had done what I do, and I use a different set of charts, and I've got, if I'm trading by support and resistance lines, or I'm waiting for an economic event, and say, for instance, I'm waiting for some decision from the ECB, and I know it's going to push the euro up or down, but I want to watch the euro against the dollar, the euro against the pound, the euro against the Japanese yen to see which ones are moving more dramatically in the direction I say, I can watch them all and watch multiple expiries. And this floor has a shortcut to entering a trade. So if you have the euro US dollar up here, set at 1920, you want to invest $50, you set that up ahead of time. Okay, let's do 1930 so it doesn't close on us. Okay, it tells us right here it's going to pay 75%. We already see all of this stuff is the same. It doesn't change per trading floor. It only changes the view that you're looking at. So basically on this one, you've got it all set, and if you decide you want to put and you're waiting for that put, you want that price to come in and you want to trade right before a support line, so you know when it hits 137.036, you want to trade it going down. So as soon as you see it hit that number, you can simply go here, push the put button, skip all the other steps, and you've already got a trade entered. So you can enter that trade very, very, very quickly. Okay, so you can be watching up to, I believe it's 12 assets here at each time, and you can set them up individually the way you like them. It's a very, very, very good trading floor to use. But again, it depends on your style and your method. The other view that you have, which is craziness to me, it drives my eyes crazy, but I'm not one of those, I'm not into all this fast, rapid trading. I'm an old statistical guy, and I like to do all kinds of statistical and technical analysis. But this floor lets you trade or look at 16 assets at one time. Tonight we're too short because we have a limited amount of assets open because of the U.S. holidays. But normally there would be 16 trades, 4 across, 4 down. You can set these all up to do exactly what you want ahead of time. You can watch 16 different assets at one time, one asset at many different trade closes, okay, and have them all set up and ready to go. And all you have to do is start pushing. So when you see the euro climbing against all of its crosses and you want to get a lot of trades in, you can just go trade, apply, trade, apply, trade, apply, and get all of these trades in very, very quickly. And you can watch a lot of assets at one time. But this depends on your trading style. Most people don't even realize you have all of these different choices. Now, the other thing is there are different strategies that you will use these floors for and learn how to trade from them. Like I said, in our future advanced classes, we actually have whole classes of why and how you would set up a strategy to use this floor and how you could set up 4 closes for the Euro Japanese Yen, 4 closes for the Euro GBP, 4 closes for the Euro USD, and a whole set of 16 crosses against one asset so that you can trade that one asset against the next for possible success. Same thing with stocks. You can watch 5, 6, 10 stocks while you're watching some assets, some currency at the same time, or you want to watch gold against the dollar, silver, you want to watch the metals and how the dollar is going to move. You can watch all that together. So you can have gold, all the other metals, and the dollar up here to watch how they're all moving, because when the dollar goes up, usually gold goes down. And when the dollar is strong, the other metals family go down. So does crude oil because it gets more expensive because the dollar is more valuable. So there's a lot of ways to apply these different trading views. Now, these trading views are only available for the up-down method. When we come to long term, you only have the one view, and you can only look at one asset at a time because you're trading it for a long-term out, so you're not looking to lock in a quick price. Okay, so let's go back to the binary option screen. Now, the only screen you also get, there's 2 screens where you can see what we call the Trader's Choice Bar. The Trader's Choice Bar is a tool that will help you trade better. This bar right here, called the Trader's Choice Bar, shows you on that asset at this time what percentage of the traders are trading it to go up or down. So we can see right now on the Euro US dollar, this evening we have 57% of the traders are saying the Euro is going to go up, and 43% of our traders are saying the Euro is going to go down. So that helps you make a decision because you can see what the other traders that are trading that asset are doing. Okay. Now we see it doesn't change your payouts, it doesn't change your close of the time, and it doesn't change anything. Now, let me just pop something. Let's put this on 1930. Let's go back and put it on 1920, so I'll show you. This is something very important that most people don't realize, is you can trade an asset up until a few minutes before the actual close. Now, when you're about 5 minutes away, this timer will pop up. When this timer pops up, and this timer will pop up on all the screens. When this timer pops up, is the time remaining to enter that trade before trading is closed for that expiry. You can usually close, if you waited to the last minute to open a trade, you can usually open a trade that has less than 6 minutes of actual trading time. So when you can close down your risk period, your risk exposure, you have more chance of making a correct decision. Because the average trade takes place, well, here in the euro US dollar, we can see that right now we can open up a trade at 19:30. That's in 14 minutes from now. So this trade, if you open it now, regardless of the number of each, you have 14 minutes of risk exposure. But if you decided the euro isn't moving that far that fast, and I wanted to get in that euro at the last moment, I could wait till that countdown came up here, and then wait and trade this the last second and trade it down. So my trading window is only 5 or 6 minutes, and therefore you have less exposure. You can lock it in or decide not to lock it in. You decide, it's not doing what I thought it was, so I'm going to walk away. So you have this other help. So you have a lot of help here. You have the timer and you have the trader's choice bar. They are both tools to help you trade better. Okay, so what do we have? We have the different types of trades. We have the different ways to set up the currencies and commodities and stocks. We have the different views. We have the support mechanism on the trading platform. Now, if we scroll down, and regardless of which window you're using, so I'm going to go back to our first, actually, I'm going to go back to my favorite. Let me clean this up for us. Okay. Your portfolio, and this is not your portfolio, this is actually your open and expired trades. This shows you, if you scroll down, and it's below any of the trading floors. This is a very important window. Okay, number one, it shows you what open trades you have by the trading style. So in other words, right now what we're looking at is my portfolio and open trades that have been made under the binary options trading floor. Okay. So right now I have all of these positions open to close sometime today. Okay? And all of these are current open positions. If I look at my expired positions, I can see all of my recently closed expired positions. Now, there are sets of tools that we can use. First, if we look here, let's go down to the second trade because it's got the tools lit up. These tools on the right-hand side are only available when they're dark. So that is the trade we made on the euro US dollar. Its trade number is the global ID number is 1307574. We entered the strike price. That's the price it needs to be above or below. In this case, we made a put, so it needs to be below 137.08. If it is trading in green, okay, it means we're in the money. If it's trading in blue, we aren't in the money at the moment. So in this particular trade, we are losing our money. Now, if we move over to the right, we can see the start time of the trade, we can see the expiry time, and we can see the value of the trade that we entered. So this is historical at the moment. Now we just popped up one frame because the upper trade closed. Okay. Now, what we have is all of our data, and we know what the trade is that we made. We can open up a chart by clicking on this button, and it will give us a specific chart on our trade and where it stands now. So when we see red on this chart, we know we're out of the money. Now, there are three very important tools that come into play here. All the way on the right is called rollover, or it's listed when we have the window open in the middle. Currently, it's grayed out. That means it's not available. What rollover does is once you've entered a trade, there is a specific period of time that if you wish to double that trade without going up and setting it all up and getting in that expiry time again, you can just click on this button and it will double your position at the current market price. But it just saves you a lot of stuff of running around and pushing buttons. You can lock it in very, very quickly. Okay? That helps you now and then, but it's not used that often. The next two are very, I'm sorry, double up is the times 2 button right here. The rollover, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. The rollover allows you a few minutes before your trade is ready to close to roll your current trade or your current position over to the next expiry. So say, for example, we had set this up to close at 1920, and whatever we expected to push the euro down hadn't happened yet, but we firmly believe in what we had decided. So you have a choice. At 1920, this trade will close and you will lose your money. Or if you firmly believe in it, when that rollover button is dark, you can click on that and it'll roll your expiry to the next expiry. Now, of course, this isn't free, but in this case, it's a $12 trade, so to roll it over, it probably costs you about $1.50. But it stops you from losing the trade entirely. It's one of those advantages. Okay, then we go back to the double up. That'll double your trade, what I was just telling you about. And the most important one on the screen is what's dark right here, is sell. Okay, it allows you, when this button is dark, to sell your trade back to OptionRally, regardless of whether it is in the money or out of the money. What that means is if you're losing your money, now of course they're not going to pay you back your initial investment, but say in this case, we had invested $12. If we decide that there's no way we're going to win that position and we want to minimize our loss, okay, now you can click on the sell button. It doesn't do anything. What OptionRally will do is when you click on the sell button, we'll make an offer to you. Okay, now we can see that we're willing to buy back your trade at that point at $3.77. You can take it or not take it. So we click on reload. Right now they'll buy it back for $3.72. Well, you're saying, damn, I paid $12. I'm not going to sell them back for $3.72. Well, the fact is, you might have paid $12, but right now your trade's going to close in a minute and you've lost your money. So that $12 is long gone. Now you have a choice of no money or $3.72. Well, if you're a smart trader, you will always cut your losses. So if you click on the 372, now it's up to 375, you can simply click on back to 362, click on apply, and it's being calculated as price moves closer and closer to the expiry and as price is closer and closer to the strike price. So right now we're at $3.70, so we're going to quickly apply it. We've closed that position and we have taken $3.70. So instead of having a loss of $12, we only had a loss of $8.30. Or I like to look at it as you made $3.70 because you lost to $12 already. Now, I'm going to real fast scroll up because I want to show you this clock. See, we were looking at the euro-US dollar trading at 1930. Well, 1930 is in 6 minutes. We can still enter that trade. See, it's counting down 35, 34, 33. We want to keep that trade to the last second. We can go in there and enter that trade with a few seconds. So what happens, we just got that position in. I just guessed at it. But what I'm saying is we got that position in, and it only has 5.5 minutes to close. So we have cut our window of exposure down to 5.5 minutes. Okay, you follow me? Now, the other thing about double up, and I'm going to open up this position right here and rollover, sell, buy, is if you're in the money. Now, say, for instance, we're looking down here at the euro pound, the dollar pound. Okay, we are in the green. We've invested $2,000 and it's paying us back $3,500. And we're not sure it's going to stay in the money. Well, we can still sell that back to OptionRally. Okay. Now, we have a whole period to sell back, but OptionRally is willing to pay us $1,807 for it. Okay. Well, that's not really well worth it because we invested $2,000. We're in the money at the moment at $3,500. But as it gets closer and closer, okay, that bid is going to come up higher and higher. So at a given point, they may offer us $2,400 for that trade, and we can take it even though we won't win back our, well, I didn't mean to sell it, but I sold it back accidentally there. But we can minimize, take a smaller profit, but take it quickly and lock in that profit. So it's one of the things that we can do with this buyback screen. Most people don't use it. It's very important. Most people forget about it. But anytime you can either lock in your profit, especially if the trade is in the money but not doing what you thought it would do, or you are out of the money and you're losing, if you can get back part of that loss, you're making profit. You're reducing your loss. So the next trade you make makes profit. You end up with more money at the end of the night. So that's a very important feature that most people don't realize we have on the platform. So from here, let's move over to the other style trades. 60-second trade, there's nothing available right now in 60-second trade because most of the assets are closed for the evening because of the holidays. Sorry. Let's see if there's one touch. Okay, one touch is usually only available on holidays and on weekends. Now, one touch is based on the same philosophy as the up-down, except our risk management team sets what's called a goal rate. So in other words, we know that right now when the NASDAQ closed, okay, it was at 42.4403, which would have been on Friday. Okay, and you can see it's traded straight along since the 15th. So it's at 42.44. Now, if you decide to enter this trade, it will close on the 21st at 17.10. The goal rate is $4,116. So what it's saying is, will the NASDAQ drop on the 21st to 4,116? If it does, it pays you back 500%. Well, that's a far out guess. Okay. Now, sometimes if you think something's going to happen, there's going to be a freak event in the market. It's a possibility. Now, that's a down choice. You're also given an up choice. If the NASDAQ is trading at 42.4403, will it go up to 43.71? Well, the NASDAQ's been steadily climbing this week. But to be honest with you, you're better off with the upper one because it's a better choice if it's going to fall down because it's hit new highs. Okay. But they're always far out reaches. Now, usually it's gold or oil that comes up in these that are very selective and are very competitive, and you can make a lot of money. Okay. But here, the minimum investment is $50. So you invest $50, you can get back $300 if you are correct. But it means it has to touch this price on or exceed that price on the 21st at 17:10 in the evening. Okay. And it's always over a holiday when there's no trading or the weekend. Okay. This is the only thing that's available. Now, also, we're probably not going to have anything available in pairs because the pairs are based on the stock markets, which are closed. But pairs take two competing stocks and match them against each other. So you like have Google against Apple, and the price differential between the two could be $150 today. That's what Google's selling for to Apple, hypothetically. So you have a choice. Will they get closer together or farther apart? Okay, because it means if Google happens to go up and Apple goes up, but Google goes up farther, they can get farther apart. But if one of them goes faster or one of them goes down, they'll get close together. So you're trading the pairs. Okay, right now somebody's asking about the protected amount. Protected amount is not available on 90% of the trades any longer. At one point, and sometimes we do offer it, protected amount means if you invest $100 and it says there's a protected rate of $10, means if you lose your whole $100, we'll replace $10 of that. We used to offer that on all trades. What we did is we turned around and said, no, most people would prefer a higher payout. So we stopped offering the protected rate and increased our payouts. Okay? At some future date, we may offer protected trades, but right now we're not offering them, but they're still on the platform. You know, we're constantly upgrading and trading the way we trade. You know, like long-term trading, 60-second, okay, was new a year ago. Now we have 30, 60, and 120-second. Okay, pairs is a whole new style. So we're constantly upgrading and changing and figuring out what we're offering and changing our offers to make it more interesting for the traders. So right now there is no, as far as I know, there are no assets that have protected rate at this time. Okay, there is nothing we can use. You don't use protected rate. It's something that's offered, that we offer with a trade, and if it's being offered, you will see it there. Right now it just says 0. So these are all the things about the trading floor. Okay. Now from here, we're going to go over to the other features of the site. So let's go over first to My Account. Actually, before we go there, let's go to some other things. If we go to the Academy and roll down to the webinar section, well, first of all, if you go to video tutorials, we have some very, very nice tutorials that you can watch at your own discretion that will help you understand the markets and trading binary options. We're about to update this and add a whole bunch of new stuff there, but right now we have everything there. Okay, we also have some basic trading information and the other drop-downs. We're actually extending out the Academy and building a whole new Academy, so you'll have it shortly. But if you click on the webinars, it's going to open up two screens, two calendars. First, we have the OptionRally free webinars. This is our trading camp that are free and available to anybody and everybody who wants to come. Okay. There are 3 classes in the trading camp. They are Welcome to Binary Options, Getting Started with Binary Options, and the last one is the one you're coming to this evening, which is Mastering the OptionRally Trading Floor. Mastering the OptionRally Trading Floor is both for our newbies or people that aren't trading with us yet, and also for our existing or beginning traders so that we can get you started on the platform correctly. Okay. Now, to register for any of these classes, it's fairly easy. You just go down to the box, click on it, and down below is the registration link, and just take that link and put it in your browser, and it will pop and it'll get you right to the right webinar, and just click on that and you'll get you scheduled. Below that, we have all of our education classes and special events. Okay. These classes are only available to traders, and some of the classes are only available to premium traders, okay, or for an additional deposit. And these are all located here. None of these have links getting. To get these, you are either sent an invitation, and which we send to our traders, or you can get them through your account managers. But these classes require that you have an open, active account with a deposit in. And we're down to the end of February, March is going to be about to be put up there tomorrow, the next day. And we run about 32 classes a month in education. Plus, we have a lot of special and premium events that are not on the calendar that are sent to you by email if you are a trader with OptionRally. So this is everything you want to know about webinars. From here, we can go over to our market data. This is where we have our economics calendar. So if you want to see all the events happening in the marketplace today, tomorrow, next week, just use the filters here and the date ranges, and you'll see all the events as they're scheduled to happen. So you have the economics counter on site. Then we also have our weekly market review and our daily market review. Each morning about 5:30 in the morning, I'll write you a review on the current markets and let you know what to expect happening that day. And we also write a script for our OptionRally TV. And we have a fresh video every day for you. And we have the events you should be watching. And then we scroll down and we can talk about what's happening in the markets. And then we can look at the currencies. And then we kind of scroll down and we look at the metals and energy. And this should give you some type of understanding of what to expect in the markets this week and what happened last week. Then we also have our daily market review. And this is up about 10 o'clock in the morning each day. And it's the same as the weekly, except it covers just the current day. So on Monday, we run the weekly, so there's nothing for Monday here. It's on the weekly. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you can find it here. Okay. Now we can scroll over to the important stuff. Okay, if we go to, oh, I got to go log back in somehow or another. I got logged out here. Okay, so let me log back in. Okay, now first of all, something very important. Something is very important here that you should know about. You know, OptionRally is one of the few regulated binary options companies, and we are regulated by CISIC, which is the Cyprus Security and Exchange Commission, because our home base is in Cyprus, and that covers us throughout the entire European Union. Okay. Also, it offers you another layer of protection and security because, number one, everything we do is monitored by the Securities Exchange Commission. They check all of everything we're saying through compliance. We can't make erroneous allegations. We can't make false promises. But the nicest feature you also have is through CISIC, which is, and you can read in detail if you want by scrolling down. The easiest way I know how to find it. If you scroll down here, you can click under, well, where is it? Investors' Compensation Fund. Okay, if you click on the Investors' Compensation Fund, this is the fund run by the European Union and CISIC that protects all of your money. It makes sure, number one, that your money is segregated and not touched by our company, except as you trade it. And it also guarantees you protection and gives you insurance up to, I believe it's 20,000 euros, that your funds are covered and paid for by CISIC, just like your bank accounts are covered in your local bank accounts. So it's a very, very important feature. So if and when you're picking a trading platform, make sure that they are regulated. Okay, now coming back over here, if you go under My Account, okay, if you are required, well, when you are required to provide documents, there's an upload button here that will allow you to complete the uploads. Your personal details are here. The questionnaire that you are required by law to fill out is here. Your account details, your banking history, any withdrawal requests, and deposit funds. But that's just standard stuff you need to know where it is. The most important thing and the most neglected thing on the site is the two things here, My Portfolio and Portfolio Analysis. Nobody pays any attention to these, and that's a big mistake. Okay, somebody's telling me they can't hear me. Can you guys hear me all right out there? Because a lot of times when I get this, it's just the individual person's computer or their headset. Okay, great, thank you. Everybody else can hear me. Let me just write back to this person. Okay, I just let him know that it's his own problem, so he's got to fix it on his side because I can't help him. Okay, now your portfolio tracks all your current positions, your open positions, your previous positions. It is like an Excel spreadsheet. You can collate it, segregate it, separate it any which way you want to see all of your data and see how you're doing. But we've also helped you with this. And under your portfolio analysis, we provide standard analysis tools that will help you understand how you are trading. Okay, and this is very, very important. Now, understand when we do our analysis, we don't care whether you're making money or not. A position and a trade is a position and a trade, whether you open a position for $1 million or you open a position for $10. If you made a good trade and it was a successful trade, that's a position. Now, we can see the average position you open, but it doesn't mean whether you're making money or losing money, because if you're trading erratically and using $1,000 on one trade and $50 on the next trade and $500 on the next trade, you could be making lots of money or losing lots of money, but you won't see that in your analysis. Okay, but if you're using good money management skills, you're not trading that way. You're trading within a certain frame of framework of trading. Okay, and you're not just making guesses. You're making decisions, and you know exactly why you are investing $100 and why you're making a trade. Now, if, say, hypothetically, you think a trade should be at $500, okay, and your standard trade is $100, my suggestion always to you is to make 5 $100 trades. Make that trade at $100, analyze it right after that, make sure you want to make, and you can make 5 trades back to back to back if you wish. But it'll also keep your portfolio more straight because you won't be making some wacky $500 trade, or you might stop and think twice that, why am I doing this? I'm just guessing, and therefore I'm not following any money management skills, and maybe you won't. But I would recommend making several trades and giving it a minute or two to make sure the asset is doing what you think it will do, and just keep parlaying them up there. But don't just jump in and say, I think this is going to go down, and I did some analysis, so I'm going to put in $500. Don't do that. do 5 100 trades back to back to back. Okay? Now, let's go talk about your portfolio analysis. This portfolio analysis analyzes all of your trades and all of your positions, not taking into account the amount of money you are investing. Okay, so we can start off here. We can see that in my portfolio, this is how the assets that I traded were distributed. I can see 30.4% of my trades were in the euro and gold, 18% were in the euro US dollar, 18% were in the Japanese yen, 15% in crude oil, 6% in Japanese yen, and 11% in other assets. I can also see now here in gold that my volume of trades was 5,141 total dollars. It was 30.4% of all my trades. My average position was $214. My average success rate was $48%. Now, it's hard for you to use my portfolio because I'm making all these guess trades for class. And so I'm making hundreds of trades that nobody's done any analysis for, and I'm jumping all over the place. So I'm showing you something at $12 and I'm showing you something out of $500 because I'm not trading, I'm demonstrating to you. But what you see is my success rate is 48%. Your success rate should be much higher than that. You can also see that I've done 9 calls and I've done 15 puts out of those trades. Okay, so this is how I am trading. Now, hypothetically, if I could see that my success rate in gold was doing much better than my success rate in the euro, let's scroll down to my euro. Okay, my success rate in my euro is only 39.7%. Well, what I should say to myself is, maybe I should stop trading euro and start putting more emphasis on my gold trading, or maybe I should take the strategy I'm using for the gold trading and apply that to my euro trading, because I'm seeing which one of my strategies is more successful. Now, it could happen to be that the strategy I'm using for gold doesn't apply to, I can't apply it to the euro. But if I'm trading much better in gold and badly in the euro, I should stop trading the euro and just spend more time trading gold, or just stop trading the euro. Okay. If I look and see the Japanese yen, I do very badly on it, and I don't realize it because I'm not paying that much of close attention to the assets. I'm paying attention to my portfolio. My portfolio is still going up. Okay, now look at this. On the Japanese yen, I've traded $3,050. My average position is $763, but look at my success rate. Okay, 75.0%. Okay. Well, what it's telling me is I should start spending more concentration, more time on the yen, and less concentration on the euro US dollar, or apply that strategy I'm using here and forget the strategy I'm using for the euro US dollar, because this is where I'm seeing success. What I'm doing is I'm rating how good I am doing. You can also break it down to long-term, short-term, and medium-term trades. So you can decide whether you're better off trading, the current expiry, or you're better off doing 60-second, or you're better off trading long-term. You can start seeing where your applications are and where your success rate is. You can then go from there over to your instrument analysis. Okay, and we can see our total trades in long-term, short-term, medium-term, and 60-second. Now, if we look at it, 18% of my trades were in short-term, 37% were in medium-term, 32% was in long-term, only 5% was 60-second, and 5% was one-touch. Again, you can't use my portfolio for analysis because this is what I use for demonstrating in class. So the one-touch, which I hardly ever trade, but I demonstrate in class, were just guesses. Okay, 60-second I use now and then when I teach lightning trades. I'm always demonstrating the euro, US dollar, and long-term trading. So that makes sense. Okay, so but this now helps me look at how I trade over a period of time. I can take all of this and apply it together to start analyzing how I am performing so that I can increase my performance in the markets. And this is, most people think the crux of trading is trading, but it isn't. It's the analysis, whether you're making the rules of the trade and doing analysis of the markets before you enter a trade, or it's analyzing your portfolio and your success rates after. It's just like a football coach who spends tons of time after a game analyzing how the game results worked and how the players played, and then all before the next game, analyzing the other teams, analyzing his opponents, analyzing his teams, and coming up with the plays for that day. It is all about understanding and knowledge and knowing. It's not about the actual trade, because when you have all the historical knowledge, you made all the plans up front, most likely your trade is going to be the least exciting part of it. It's just going to be the end of an adventure when you make your profit, and you will make more profit that way. So it's not, too many people come here and think it's a get-rich-quick scheme. If you realize this is true investing, and the more knowledge you put into it, the more time and effort you spend analyzing and looking at your trades, the more success you're going to have in the long term. But it's the only way that you will be successful, and you can be. You can be very successful if you spend the time and effort. Now, the nice thing about this is you can do all this on your day off and your evening when you have time for it. You don't need to do this every day, all day long. But you should be looking at all this material. So between doing all of this analysis, coming to class, making your rules of the trade, understanding the markets, it'll take a little bit of time, but you will become a very knowledgeable, successful trader. But it does take effort. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Wish you successful trading. I hope to see you in my other classes. I don't know if I have class tomorrow. I have so many classes lately, I'm just jam-packed. But I do have Thursday's education class. I don't even know what I'm teaching on Thursday. Let's go find out what class we have on Thursday. Hold on, let's go to webinars. Okay, on Thursday, let's see, tomorrow is Tuesday. Yeah, I do have class tomorrow. We have lots of introduction classes, and today is the 18th? No. Oh, I'm doing this class again tomorrow evening for our other new traders. On Thursday, we have, Thursday afternoon, we have the FOMC minutes release, so that's live trading. And then Thursday evening, we are doing the trend is your friend. So if you have an open account, contact your account manager, and he will be glad to get you set up in these trades. Okay. So hopefully I will see you in those classes. So have a great day and have a great trading week, and hopefully you've learned everything, or I've shared with you enough information to help you become a successful beginning trader, and I hope to see you in a class soon. Thank you, and have a wonderful night now. Good night.